Going live.
Going live.
Okay. Brandon, I just wanted you to feast your eyes on the damage that you have caused. As Kitty Goes Meow
No.
is now
She
a
got
ghost.
the cone of shame?
It's a ghost. It's a ghost because of what you did.
Boy.
You know what you did.
I had dreams of getting the key to the city of Cincinnati.
You
Dead.
know what you did. Oh, baby. Ladies and gentlemen.
Boys and girls.
Monday morning.
Woo! Football, baby! Ooh, ooh, ooh!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know.
Weird.
There's some games yesterday. I don't know if you could call football. They were something else. But it doesn't matter because we're here to to break it all down. Brandon Perna is going to be getting lots of interesting chats today as we break down Week 8 in the NFL. And after tonight, we are officially halfway through the regular season, which means that only for a few more months, Brandon Perna and I have to work insane 18-hour days and want to die on a daily basis and not have enough time to poo. But welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show, otherwise known as Brandon Perna.
Tom Grossi. GPS.
That's
Grossi
the one.
Perna Show. GPS.
It's all right. It's only our 18th show. We're fine. We're gonna get it. We're gonna rock it.
I do this thing where I forget to listen sometimes, you know?
It's sometimes
really
like when
great
I just
for a
speak.
Conversation.
Honestly, that happened with my students all the time, so it's fine. I'm kind of used to it. I just spoke.
Shut up, Mr. Tom.
It's like, okay. Mr. Tom. Yeah, we got a lot to break down. Let's start off with the breaking news and what the headline is, because this came out about an hour ago, and this is big. It's real big. If Perna plans on planting his cursed flag on the Packers, he best make peace with his dear and fluffy lord.
Dia de los Muertos,
baby.
Bengals.
Listen.
I'm sorry about that. But yes, Derrick Henry. Oh, man. Looks like he is done for the regular season.
Yep.
Jones fracture in his foot. Now, I did a little recall to my days as a medical student, which isn't true, but I heard with a Jones fracture, they need a screw. They have to put a screw into your foot.
No good.
It takes 8 weeks to heal. Once they take the screw out, you can play with it. That might be what Broncos corner Bryce Callahan had when he first joined the Broncos. And then the screw that they put in was wrong and all this stuff. I forget exactly. But either way, it is a bad break for the Titans. Here's how tough Derrick Henry is, though. Like, he broke it, went on the sideline, walked around without a shoe, and was like, okay, put me back in, coach, finish the game. And then they're like, what happened? He's like, oh, you broke your damn foot, Derrick. You broke it. He's like, oh, shoot. And I knew it hurt.
Well, because I was watching Red Zone during the 1 o'clock stretch, and they said like Henry was on the sideline without his cleat, and so like I was like, oh no. But then he went right back in, and I was like, and he played the whole game. So I was like, oh, I guess he's fine now. Like, okay,
tough man.
I mean, and I do want to bring this up, and we'll talk about curses. But someone brought this up on Twitter, and I thought that this was an interesting note. So as many of you know, viewers of the GPS, especially talking about our power ranking, Brandon Perna has the ability to curse teams, and he does so at will. And to help even out the destruction that the curse causes, he got the Wheel of Pain. And unfortunately, he cursed spot number 3 last week. There it is. That's a write-off right there.
Things are $20 write-off.
Toyota write-off. Suck it. So it landed on number 3. And for Brandon Perna, that cursed the Cincinnati Bengals. Oh, no.
See, it's
Okay,
random.
no more.
People are like, you rigged it. You rigged the wheel.
Yeah.
No, man,
Yeah.
this thing go live.
Because you could have known that the Bengals are going to the Jets. And we'll talk about that game. But someone mentioned this on Twitter about Derrick Henry. I put the Titans on number 3 for me.
Did it curse both 3?
And I'm like kind of getting a little concerned now that maybe this curse a little bit like herpes. And it's going a little, since we're in such close communication and close contact, I'm getting a little concerned, Brandon Perna. Getting a little concerned.
Yeah. I think also we talked at great length about how Derrick Henry is unbreakable, how the thing that, besides him just being an amazing running back, the thing that makes him so special is he can have like 400 carries in a season and he never gets hurt. But no, he broke his foot. There's the tweet from Ian Rappaport, roughly 8-week recovery. So the good news is if the Titans can get by and get into the playoffs, and luckily they just beat the Colts in a very bad division. They just have to win their division, and then maybe they can get Derrick Henry back in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And to be like super optimistic about this, if the Titans figure out how to navigate a season without Derrick Henry, figure out how to really win without Derrick Henry, and then they do get him back for the playoffs, and he's 100%. Let's assume his ankle is fully ready to go.
Yeah.
They might be very dangerous in the playoffs. Like, that's the thing. Sometimes when a team loses a player like that, I felt like we saw the Saints do it without Drew Brees, like that defense really started to come together.
Hepatitis. I was like, did you spell hepatitis really wrong? But then I saw what he did, and I was like, that's clever.
Hepatitis. You got the hepatitis.
Listen.
What's the cure? Sex with yourself.
And more cowbell.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you talk about the Titans because as soon as this news came out, people were like, well, season's over. Like, it's done now. The good thing is that if you look, right, so if we take a gander at the AFC South standings right now, the Titans have a dominant lead over that division at 6-2. The Colts are 3-5. The Colts, like the Titans have already swept the Colts. They've already swept their main competition in that division. So the Texans aren't going anywhere. The Jaguars sure as hell ain't going anywhere. So basically, they have a strong lead against the Colts. And if it comes down to a tiebreaker, they already have won the tiebreaker. There's no way for the Colts to catch up in terms of like if they wound up having a similar record at the very end. So
the good news is they do get the Texans twice still, the Dolphins, the Jags. Steelers is winnable. 49ers, don't know. I think they're going to lose the next two. They lose to the Rams. They lose to the Saints.
Yeah.
And then they get Texans. Patriots are looking good. Jags, Steelers, Niners, Dolphins. They could sneak in to the playoffs. Here's a question, though, for you, Tom.
What do you got?
They might be in the market for a running back. There are probably some teams with, a number 3 back that they're willing to trade. They're not going to get, you can't go out there and just trade for whoever has maybe the Vikings, they got nothing. Maybe they just trade Dalvin Cook away.
Or they can give Madison, honestly. Like, Madison's a good running back. They could deal Madison. I mean, but we'll talk about the disaster.
A guy like Vikings. Adrian Peterson, free agent.
Maybe Peterson comes back. What's
another
Frank Gore doing?
Wonder.
What's Frank Gore up to?
Yeah, it's Frank Gore, Adrian Peterson. They're literally the oldest available running backs, but I also think in a weird way, the best available. Because then you're talking about guys like Bo Scarborough, Rodney Smith. Don't know who that is. What else is out there? Kerryon Johnson. The 49ers cut him after taking a chance on him. If the 49ers cut you,
is Todd Gurley on a team?
Ravens? Wasn't he with the Ravens?
I know the Ravens. got everybody. He's a free agent.
He's still a free agent.
Yep. Okay.
And just 27 years young.
That's right. Listen, if you want a guy who has an arthritic knee, like, get him. But I think because I want to talk about that game since we're talking about Derrick Henry. An interesting game to say the least. AJ Brown went off again, second week in a row. Like, really, really had a good game. Had over 100 yards. Derrick Henry didn't put up his normal-ish points. You know, he kind of was held a little bit. He ran to a lot of stacked boxes. Like the Colts really kind of were playing against the run. I think that's one of the reasons why AJ Brown was able to tear them up so well. But the thing I want to talk about was not even the Titans here. I wanted to talk about the Colts because I want to talk about Carson Wentz because I have looked at Carson Wentz and I'm like, listen, he's playing better football, right? And people were saying he doesn't really turn the ball over, what have you. But this is now the second week in a row that I've actually watched the Colts play. And it seems like at least once a week, Carson Wentz is doing the stupidest thing you could possibly do. And last week against the 49ers, he did that little shuffle pass that was directly to one of the 49ers.
Yeah.
And then this week, he's about to take a sack in the end zone. And he literally is just yeah. And he throws a pick six that just lands in the hands of the Titans.
Yeah.
So it has to be infuriating to watch it because you're he's not awful. He missed a bunch of throws yesterday, but he's not awful. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Colts threw it 51 times against Tennessee. That's a recipe for disaster, usually, when QBs are over that 51 yard or 50 attempt mark. Wentz has thrown the three ugliest interceptions. Two of them were ruled fumbles because they're the shovel pass or whatever. So he was getting away with it not being on the stat sheet there.
Yep.
But I just thought of something very interesting, Tom.
What do you got?
The Colts have been shopping running back Marlon Mack.
Yes.
Now, you would never trade your running back in the division.
Yeah, they never trade him.
But talk about a guy the Titans could use right now.
Oh, they could help.
He's a good running back, just not being used. At least he was a couple of years ago. Colts have Jonathan Taylor, Naheem Hines. I doubt that's a possibility, but
Perna, because we are literal gods. The Titans are expected to work out veteran running back Adrian Peterson this week. Ian Rappaport.
Oh, yes! I called that shit.
Nailed it.
Dude, AP, this is the perfect time for Adrian Peterson. Halfway through the season, body right, body ready. Dude always needs money because he's horrible managing it. And he'll play. Oh, he'll play.
Listen, I like this. Bring back Chris Johnson. Bring him out. I bet he's still fast.
Heck yeah.
Do you remember Chris Johnson? He was just a monster for that guy. It was great. But yeah, I think the Titans will be okay within the division because their schedule is not the hardest. They just have to hope that the Colts don't go on a miraculous run, which looking on how they're playing, I'm not really too concerned about that. But I just feel so bad for Derrick Henry because we talked about on this show. I mean, you obviously love Derrick Henry. That guy was going to hit 2,000 yards again because of the amount of production that he was getting. So
a back-to-back 2,000-yard rusher. Talk about a Hall of Fame lock.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So just disappointing all around. It's disappointing for football. It's disappointing for Titans, but they'll make the playoffs, I think, and then see what they could do from there. I mean, they're number one in the AFC right now. So that has to be yay, we did it. Oh no.
Yeah.
It don't feel good now.
I like that the Titans front office works exactly the way I do. You just go onto Google and you go top available free agents, and then you scroll through the list until you find a guy you think still might be able to play for you.
Yep.
What were Adrian Peterson's stats last year? They weren't bad.
Hold on, please hold. I got you.
7 touchdowns, 600 yards, 3.9 average for the Lions.
He was good for Washington a couple years back too. Like Washington, his first year with Washington, he had over 1,000 yards. He had 900 yards in 2019. I think he was hurt for for Detroit. He only started 10. He played in 16 games, but he only started 10.
Yeah.
So they weren't even utilizing him a ton, and he still got over 600 yards and 7 touchdowns. So not bad.
Like all those years he played and the way he played, just insane as well.
Oh yeah. So
and of course, here's what's cool. Okay, the Titans, if they do sign Derrick Henry, Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
That will be the third 2,000-yard rusher they have had on their roster. Guaranteed, no other team has had 3 2,000. I don't think any other team's had 2.
Oh, yeah. IVM. There you go. Sad Bucks fan. Which, by the way,
yeah, Bucks.
You cursed him a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I predicted the Saints to win this week.
Oh, dude, I was so. Oh my god, my pick'em league destroyed. I think I got like 5 right.
That was bad. Rough week.
It was a rough week. Now, let's talk about a couple games here because that's a nice transition. Let's talk about baby Brady, Tom Brady.
Yes. Oh yes. You old idiot.
Black Cat. Perna, she put Cowboys in #1 spot. Listen, it's not the #1 spot that's cursed anymore. It's the wheel of pain. It's random.
It's the wheel of pain.
It's random.
Yeah, Cowboys win with Cooper Rush. It was the week of the backups. Mike White,
yes.
Cooper Rush, Geno Smith, Trevor Siemian. Win. Yeah, Jets. 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 Go Jets. That's our chant,
Miss
right?
Henry carrying my bad fantasy team. Oh, by the way, it's really bad. I know that this is like not important, but you remember we have that clickbait fantasy football thing? Derrick Henry was the guy I picked that I have to start every week.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Mine was supposed to be Ryan
Fitzpatrick,
I think.
The auto draft, I kicked its ass this week. Destroyed it. And I am now going to die from...
Yeah. So I cursed the Bolts 2 weeks ago.
Oh, Chargers. They haven't recovered from the curse. You cursed them in the bye week, and they can't win now.
Yeah, they came out and they lost to the Patriots. So the Bengals, the Chargers going down, curse. The Cardinals had been in #1 for 3 weeks. So if you want to say the #1 curse is still real, it definitely got the Cardinals this week.
Yep.
Buccaneers, Tom Brady, 2 picks, a fumble, losing to Trevor Siemian.
Yep.
I'm not going to put that on the curse. I tried that like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
I mean, to be honest, though, you forgot the big one. Raiders, buddy. Raiders, that curse came into fruition big time.
Yeah, they're slowly,
they're recovering from the curse, but that was they lost their head coach to the curse. Panthers, they got cursed real bad. I'm telling you, it's real. This year, it's real. So, just saying. But yeah, let's talk about that Buccaneers Saints game. Jameis Winston, another guy who might be out for the entire year.
He tore his ACL. He's done.
Yeah, not good. Not good. And I think as soon as that happened, because it was a close game, as soon as it happened, I was like, oh, like we're done now. Because like Hill is out. I was like, all right, Siemian's in. I'm like, Perna will be happy, but Siemian's in. And like Siemian didn't have an amazing game. Like you go watch Sean Payton's press conference, like the compliments that he gives him, it's like the most like mediocre compliments. He's like this, Siemian's not like here or like down here. He's just this. I'm like, that's a good quality for him to have. Like he literally was just like, he is the face of mediocrity, but he got it done. Like
he did get it done.
Got done.
What's sad is Winston looked like he was going to have a big game. The Saints, they gave up the touchdown after they got stopped on a 4th down, which is ballsy call by Sean Payton, who goes for it on 4th down on his own side of the field. So they give the Bucs and Brady the ball back, an easy scoring position. But then the Saints answer in Alvin Kamara, 1st down with his legs. Mark Ingram, 1st down with his legs. Jameis Winston, 2 first downs with his legs. Then he drops a dime to Traquan Smith. And you're like, oh, maybe Jameis is going to have a weird Jameis Winston game where he throws 4 touchdowns, 110 yards, and
Like he did against the
maybe have like
Packers,
50 or 60 rushing yards.
Yeah.
But then, he tears his ACL. Horrible. But Siemian came in. He was efficient. Not going to light it up. But, he wasn't expecting to play. They did enough. Brady was not good. Yeah, he had 4 touchdowns. Who cares? You lost. He threw a game-losing pick 6. Somebody's like, has he ever done that before? And I was like, yeah, to the Titans in the playoffs. How we forget Tom Brady ever makes a mistake. And then I got on Twitter as soon as he threw that pick 6 and just tweeted, but tell me more about Tom Brady, please. Because the people are still ribbing me from my Aaron Rodgers tweet last week. Still chiming in to say 7 rings, idiot. 7 rings. What's more impressive? Aaron Rodgers on a short week with no weapons, leading the Packers to a victory over the best team in the league? Or Tom Brady losing on a full week without just Gronk and AB, losing to Trevor Siemian? But his stats were better. Don't care. He played like garbage. And here's why I'm reminded of why Tom Brady annoys me sometimes. Because honestly, since he's been in Tampa, I find him far less annoying. Fun Tom Brady, much more enjoyable. Like the loose Tom Brady. After the loss, he's just such a miserable person at the podium. Like, the dude has won Brady so many times, and he's still just like, next question. Yeah, we got to do better. He's like a curmudgeon. It's like, suck it up, bro. Suck it up. You're 44. You lost your second game of the season. Anyway, I'm done ranting. Just so nice to see the Saints win.
Again, like you look at like the offense didn't really function well for the Buccaneers. And again, like this is a problem. Sometimes they
That's Winston partying on his crutches.
By the way, this video is gonna get blocked now because of copyright with that music.
Oh, nah, we should be all right. It was a short clip.
That's what they said about Tree with Applebee's, and it never recovered. It never recovered.
Didn't think about that.
Bucks get 11 penalties for 99 yards. Expect to win. Got to reduce the mistakes. But what I was gonna say was that's right too. What I was gonna say is the big issue too is they had no run game, like none whatsoever. Like Fournette had less than 30 yards. I know Bernard ran like 30 as well, but like they really were not efficient. And I know the Saints are honestly one of the weirdest teams this year by far, because they are, and people think that they figured out the pattern that they're like good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, because like you are looking at a team that last week struggled against the Seahawks and like Kamara was really good in the passing game, what have you, but they struggled to move that football. And now they're like going toe to toe with the Buccaneers. It's their defense is really good. So that's why I was confident that the Saints could put up a fight and beat the Buccaneers. I don't think enough people talk about the Saints defense. Ton of talent there. They're good against the run. They can get after the quarterback. I know they struggled against Seattle, but when I was watching that game, I was like, dude, Demario Davis is just a beast. Like that dude is just a beast of a linebacker. Yeah. So I think like their defense can carry them. They're getting healthy too. What's that? They're getting healthy too. Like Michael Thomas is going to come back. Like they're going to get people back. Yeah. The issue is going to be like, who's going to be their QB?
Oh, I mean, if Michael Thomas is healthy, Trevor Siemian is the perfect quarterback for him. You want a guy throwing you 7-yard slant routes all day? Trevor Siemian can do that just as good as Drew Brees. Yeah. Just as good as Brees. And Siemian is a tough football player. He played with an AC joint sprain for more than half the season with the Broncos. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't great after he got hurt, but it required surgery after the season. Like, he is steady. He's not going to light it up, but he's usually not going to make you a lot of mistakes. And when you've got talent, like I think Mark Ingram's going to prove to be a great pickup for the Saints.
He was great yesterday.
And Kamara's a dangerous threat. So if you've got the running backs, the running game, the easy throws there, and a good defense, you can win with Trevor Siemian. You'd obviously like the talent Jameis Winston brings, but
yeah,
I think I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're going to be all right with Siemian. And heck, they could beat the Buccaneers in the playoffs if that were to occur.
Ooh.
MVP, Trevor Siemian, 2022 playoffs.
That's it. All right. I do want to stop for a hot second, and I would like to talk about some NFC action.
Sure.
I'm actually going to do this in one foul swoop. Okay.
Do it.
I made a mistake in my predictions, and I put the slightest bit of faith in the Detroit Lions this week. I said that the Detroit Lions would get
we did the same.
The first win of the season, and I saw it. Like, I had a premonition. I was like, you know what? It's in Ford Field. Dan Campbell's going to be going wild. Everyone's going to be so happy. And instead, the Eagles won 44-6.
Yeah.
They smacked the crap out of them. Packers, hell yeah. And it was all like Jalen Hurts. First of all, you and I were both happy because the legend, Gardner Minshew. Look at that. 2 for 2, 100% completion rating.
Can you get any better than that?
No, you can't, folks. No. Look at that. Hurts had to only throw the ball 14 times. 14.
That's insane.
And they won 44-6.
I mean, look at that commitment to the run game. You gave 12 carries to Boston Scott, 12 to Jordan Howard, 13 to Kenneth Gainwell. And then Hurts added another 7. Those are probably not all designed runs, obviously, but like that's 4 rushing touchdowns for an offense that has refused to run the ball. So maybe there's some hope. It looks like Nick Sirianni's one way or the other. It's like, we're going to either pass it all game or run it all game. But if you expect me to mix it up, I ain't your head coach. This week we running. So, yeah, a weird game. I picked the Lions to win as well, Tom. Looks stupid now.
And now, like, people have been saying this for a while now and, like, kind of joking, like, oh, the Lions aren't going to, like, win any games, whatever. But, like, now I'm actually concerned that maybe they're not going to win a game. Like, if they show up, if the team that was there yesterday shows up, like, the Steelers, I think that's a loss. Browns, loss. Bears, maybe. Even though Justin Fields had some bright moments yesterday, he had an amazing touchdown throw and that amazing touchdown scramble. So, like, maybe. But Brandon Perna, you know what I want? There's not many things I want in my life. I see your Broncos. No, I don't want that for you. I want the first win to be against the Minnesota Vikings. Do you know how much joy? And I don't want them to win a single game. It's just against the Vikings. Like, that's 1-16, good. The only wins against the Vikings.
Great for the content.
Oh, incredible. Oh, yeah, Bears incapable of scoring more than 24 points. I'm sorry. You want to talk about teams that can't score with weapons? Did you see the Vikings last night? Did you see them? Did you see the Minnesota Vikings, who have Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen? And they're going up against a defense in the Cowboys who, yes, are improved, but we're giving up over 24 points a game. And they scored 16 whole points.
Yeah.
Pitiful.
Vikings, they need a change at the highest of levels from coach to, I don't know. It was prime time, so it makes sense that Kirk Cousins is going to complete 23 passes for only 184 yards. Like, that's hard to do in the NFL. That's a lot of short passes.
And people were bashing Zimmer's like conservative play calling. Yes. like 1 million. Like you have Cooper Rush as the opposing QB. And like Cedric Wilson was throwing that dart that he threw was the best throw of the night. From all quarterbacks, that was the best throw of the night. Actually, that's maybe a lie. Cooper Rush's last touchdown pass was really nice. But like, come on, man. And you hold Zeke to 50 yards and you score 16 points. It's just, it was bad. It was just horrible. And right now, the Green Bay Packers at 7-1, who are the top team in the NFL, not just the NFC, the NFL, have more wins than the entire NFC North combined.
Wow.
Because the Lions are at 0, the Vikings are at 3, and the Bears are at 3. We literally have more wins than all the other teams in the division combined. Yeah. But it was Justin Fields' season, right? It's just...
Yeah, at least he looked a little better without Matt Nagy, you know?
He did.
The Bears don't have their coach, and all of a sudden, their offense has some life. I mean, Zimmer going to get fired, hopefully, for Vikings fans' sakes. And it's not like he's a bad coach. He's his time's run out. He's been given enough chances, got to move on. Nagy's going to be out. Dan Campbell will be the second longest tenured coach in the NFC North going into next season.
Yep.
And it feels more and more like Aaron Rodgers is inclined, in my eyes, to go back to Green Bay. Like, he really loves that team.
He's having a good time.
We'll see. He's a guy, it seems like he's open to change. He's open to growing and changing. Or maybe not. I mean, great. I did predict his Halloween costume correctly, so that's pretty tight.
Yeah. So I got that going for me. It's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. So real quick, just to linger a hot second, besides the Vikings being hot garbage, the Cowboys are able to pull away a W yet again. They're another team that like is going to destroy that division because that division has very little hope or competition. And Sunday was weird because, again, I would win either way because either one, I was going to continue to win the bet against Scooter, or I got the Vikings to lose to Cooper Rush. There you go. Speaking of, there's a donation to Scooter. Zeke is a grown man. Can take penalties if your opponent goes 113 on third down. How about them Cowboys? Like, the Cowboys didn't, I mean, again, they had Cooper Rush, but the Cowboys didn't look great either. Like, they did not look like an amazing football team. I still don't think they go 15-2. I don't. I don't think it happens. People are asking, are you concerned yet? I'm not. We're about to be halfway through the season. They're gonna lose 2 more games. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I mean, they got the Broncos this week, so cool. There's a win for the Cowboys.
Broncos, Falcons. They should win. Chiefs could go either way. It's in Arrowhead. Maybe the Chiefs are a little bit better, like tough late game. November. Raiders could be tough.
These 3 are tough. Chiefs, Raiders, Saints.
They play the Cardinals at the end of the year too.
Oh, yeah, Cardinals. Man, if they go through these 3 games undefeated, Tom, you're going to start sweating because Washington, Giants, Washington, Cards,
dude,
Eagles.
You know what I want? Woo! You know what I want so bad? I want them to lose to the Cardinals, and then they're like, well, we already won the division. We can't move up in the seedings, and sit their starters and lose to the Eagles, and that's how I win the bet. I want that.
Oh.
I want that.
Oh, yeah. John Burns.
I think Cardinals beat the Cowboys.
Yeah. A lot can happen in that time.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is that was a crappy Sunday night game, and both teams, I was like, ugh. But, you know, Dak, I'm like kind of concerned about Dak because like they had a bye week. Like he got hurt, and we talked about this on GPS. He got hurt with a calf injury, and then they had a bye week, and they're like, oh, he'll be okay. And then he didn't play again. And you're like, I don't know. Is that gonna be something that's gonna be a problem?
Well, it is a concern because it's not the first injury that's happened to him.
Correct.
In the preseason, he missed all of it with the shoulder injury. That finally got right. He looked good, and then this is a calf thing. So yeah, he might have lingering issues. I think it was smart to not play him. They eked out a win, and they don't even need to worry about that because they're going to win their division. So if he does have to sit another week,
not the end of the
Broncos get Cooper Rush, that's all right for the Cowboys. Like, just
Yeah.
let him get healthy. Because after that, you're just guessing on whether he'll stay healthy or not. But
there was a couple of things that people want to talk about. First of all, I know Brandon Perna is becoming a little prophet here, and it's just down a wisdom.
Not the wheel. It's the wheel. I take no credit.
I said, well, no, listen, you want to talk about AP. Like, you're saying all these things.
Yeah.
I said that Chargers-Patriots game was going to be a close game, and I said, watch out, the Patriots could do it. And what happened to the Chargers?
They got spanked. Well, it was a close game.
It's a close game.
3 quarters. And then the Patriots controlled the ball. They kept Herbert on the sideline.
Yep.
And Mac Jones, man. He's the best rookie quarterback this season. Just steady. Bill Belichick, I think, found his guy. The Chargers, man, they just couldn't get off the field late in the game to give their offense chances to get back in that game. And so I'm bringing up
you look at the West right now. The Raiders, continue their lead. Captain Finn Oakley continues to win. I mean, you look at Mac Jones' stats. I mean, there's nothing to be like, oh my God, that's amazing. But
no,
he's not turning the ball over.
0 mistakes. This is the real key is running back Damian Harris. They're leaning on him. He's getting the majority of the carries for 3 weeks in a row now, which is always a little weird when the Patriots actually commit to a running back, but he's been effective. So again, your rookie QB knows he has a solid run game, and the Patriots defense, well-coached defense. Herbert, couple mistakes in this game. Justin Jackson had one really good run.
Yes.
And he got chased down by J.C. Jackson.
Yep.
The Chargers, they finished that drive off, scored a touchdown. And they ran, if you would have told me the Chargers were going to run the ball this well against New England, I would have said they're going to win. Because this is always their kind of the offensive question mark for the Chargers is can they run the ball?
Yep.
They ran the ball well, but they lost. They lost in a close one. It's typical Chargers, though, man. As soon as you believe in the Chargers as a legit threat, they just start dropping games. They start dropping
games. Watch the Raiders freaking win this division, man. Watch the Raiders do it.
Oh, it's...
They might freaking
watch
do it.
The Broncos win the I can't even believe that.
They won't. They won't.
I watched the worst win of my life.
Wes saying New York Giants beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh my God, I can't imagine how happy you'd be if the Giants literally beat the Chiefs.
Man, I should be streaming that game tonight.
That'd be something. That would. Oh no, Danielle Hunter might be out the rest of the season. Oh God.
Yeah,
that's bad.
And he was balling. He was had a huge impact for the Vikings.
That's bad. Couple other games. You know what? We're over halfway through. It's time for you to own up to it.
2,600 people in the stream.
Let's get
Can we get to 3,000? Can we get 1,000 likes? Bada beach. Guillermo, man, you are relentless. This is my favorite Raiders fan on earth. You're welcome, Guillermo, for the curse. Got rid of bad Gruden play calls. We actually run different plays now instead of run, pass.
It was a blessing. It was a blessing. I don't get, Tom, what is it about the Saints that gives Tampa so much trouble every year? Well, again, divisional games can go either way. And it depends, right? Not just the diaper brand, but they beat the Buccaneers last year twice during the regular season. And then you have, the playoffs in which the Saints get their ass kicked. So I think it's an any given Sunday mentality. And as Perna said, their offensive line is good, so it's going to stop that pass rush a little bit. Their defense is good. And they just played hey, let's wait for Tom Brady to make mistakes, which he did. And Tom Brady usually doesn't make all those mistakes. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people who will be like, oh no, but people were out or whatever. But I think that they just let him beat themselves. And that was it. It's kind of like a Patriots mentality, the old school, Bill Belichick. He's just wait for your opponents to make a mistake. Patriots, how they played the Chargers, that was old timey Patriot football. That was like, hey, listen, like, let's just go. Let's play a balanced football game. And that's it. So
Yeah, I mean, I think credit Saints defensive coordinator Dennis Allen for being able to put together a good game plan against Tom Brady. Even in the playoffs when the Saints lost last year, they played well. They just couldn't get, like, Drew Brees was just broken. He was just a broken man in that game. And really, the Saints defense they only made one really bad mistake, and that was forgetting to cover Cyril Grayson.
Oh, yes.
Cyril Grayson. He had one catch for 50 yards and a touchdown. Just completely forgot to cover that guy.
Yep.
Without that play, I think the Saints, win that game handily. Also, I saw on Good Morning Football, Sean Payton on holidays, undefeated. 2-0 on Halloween, 3-0 on Thanksgiving, 1-0 on Christmas. So the only way, in my opinion, the Saints can win the Super Bowl is if it does indeed fall on Valentine's Day and the Saints are there. Then they're guaranteed to win. Because that man hates being home for the holidays, and he will coach a football
He's just like,
game.
it's actually on the 13th, so it's not on Valentine's Day. So
this year, maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
It's not.
Philip likes turtles. Good.
I like turtles.
I want you to condone for your sins, buddy.
Me?
It's time.
What do I? Oh no,
it's time.
The
Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, fudge.
Going up against the New York Jets, in which I actually have the time here. I spent 18 seconds talking about this game during predictions. 18 seconds. And, Brandon cursed the Bengals. And, like, there's always a healthy amount of skepticism, right? Because I'm like, it's the Jets, right? They just blew out the Ravens, talking about the Bengals. I think what I literally said verbatim was the Bengals just blew out the Ravens and the Jets are not the Ravens. Bengals win. Like, that's like literally all I said.
Yeah. Well, it's not a game you need to deeply analyze.
No.
But that's the NFL, baby.
But what happened, Brandon Perna? What happened?
Let me tell you. The Bengals got cursed. I didn't want to. I didn't even know I cursed them during the episode until I got to number 3. It was like, oh, crap. I put the Bengals at 3. Now, it was backup quarterback Mike White's coming out party. Dude balled, but
400 yards. And he caught a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, he caught the 2-point conversion. Great play call. A little Philly special. What do you call that for the Jets? Jetty special? Jersey special? Jersey special.
I really wish that the Jets would get a quarterback with the first name Benny. It would really just make, it would just make my life complete.
Yeah.
It'd make me want to talk about them. Mike White. And so, talk about that Bengals defense that you and I said they stepped up this year. They looked pretty good. They were underrated. They're holding teams. They shut down Lamar Jackson, right? True, right?
Oh, yeah.
But holy crap, man.
One of the reasons Jets fans should have a little bit of hope, and this has been true for most of the season, the Jets' defensive front is tough to run against.
Yeah.
When the Broncos played them, I thought the Jets I was like, is the Broncos running game just horrible? Or $308 on tickets to finally watch the Bengals play? Oh my God, I am sorry. Psykill. Psykill. Aren't you the receiver that caught the touchdown for the Bucks? Look, they held Joe Mixon to 33 rushing yards, the Jets D. So as good as Mike White was, they kept the game winnable for him.
Subway
but 405 yards, he did have 2 picks. One was definitely not his fault. He started the game 12 for 12 on completions, and then a pick happened. And I thought that was going to be the story. This guy started out great, and then he's Mike White, Zach Wilson's backup. We don't even know who Mike White is.
We don't know you know who this guy is.
And he is going to just, implode. But he didn't. He made a mistake and he came back out there and kept balling. They got a little bit of a run game going with Michael Carter. But Michael Carter in the passing game, also big for them. That's what I noticed about White. Like he was making the smart, safe throws, and they were turning those into positive gains. You kind of like what you're starting to see from Elijah Moore week to week. Denzel Mim having 30 receiving yards, basically like having a billion. Because he rarely
that's his coming out game.
And here's another impressive thing about the Jets. Oh man, who had it? It was Keelan Cole had one of the most impressive touchdown catches of the weekend. It's just like this one-handed grab. He gets his butt down. The ball kind of bobbles. They take the touchdown away from him. They took it away, and then they did a near identical thing to Braxton Berrios, who bobbled the ball way harder than Keelan Cole, but they gave the Jets the touchdown. So have a touchdown taken away. They still get the tug after that. They did things a good football team does against a good opponent. So I apologize.
So Zach Wilson, I mean, listen, it's one game, but
trade him now, New York.
Just trade him right now. Just get him out of there. Like, what do you do? Like, I feel like you put Mike White in until he does poorly. I mean, I know Zach Wilson's obviously hurt, White, but I feel like Wilson, with the time that he's been given, hasn't looked good. Like, he just has like little flashes every now and then, but put Mike White in, see what happens. Or do you just go, we put Zach Wilson when we get back because we're not going to contend for the playoffs anyway?
Yeah, I mean, Wilson was going to miss minimum 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now, if you're the Jets, you're like, it was 2 to 4. You're like, it's definitely 4 weeks, Zach.
Let's go on the conservative side.
If you're Robert Saleh, you go to the team doctors and you say, you tell him it's 4 weeks. You tell him that ain't healed yet. Even if he feels 100%, you tell him he's at 60%. Yep. And we believe in him. We need him at the end of the season for the tank. But yeah, you see what you have with Mike White. Sometimes, like, this happens, though. You see a guy you don't expect to play well, comes out there and balls. Usually, though, it's not for a team that's as bad as the Jets.
Correct.
It's like Matt Flynn going in for the Packers and throwing 6 touchdowns.
Win for the win, baby.
And then you're like, oh, but we have Russell Wilson. He actually looks a little better. Let's roll with Russell. I'm not sold that Mike White's the answer, but you like what you saw from him. He played better than Cooper Rush on a better team. Played better than Trevor Siemian on a better team. Played better than Geno Smith on a better team.
Yeah.
Mike White went in there on a bad football team and threw for 400 yards. Something they haven't seen since Vinny Testaverde. Oh, my God.
Good for him.
Oh, my God, Jets fans. So
I saw that. Well, Tom's upset he's never thrown a Hail Mary. Kyler Murray and Aaron Rodgers are doing it all the time. And shut up. Just shut up.
Shut up, Tom.
Just stop. Another thing, and talking about bad judgment, I picked the Jaguars to win this week. I said,
I think I did too.
Oh, you did too?
Yeah.
I said they're going to upset Seattle. I'm like, listen, like Trevor Lawrence getting better and better. I'm like going in against Geno Smith. They didn't look good last week. Maybe they do it. They got the. How about Kitty goes ow? Buddy. That was bad. That was just a terrible, terrible performance. And the best thing was Urban Meyer having 12 men on the field on defense, 2 plays in a row, twice. How do you let that happen? Like how you're in week 8 of the NFL. It was bad. It was really, really bad. Like the Seattle Seahawks just like kick the crap out of them. Cryptics, I know it's America's Game of the Week instead. So Big Sad says spin the wheel after assigning the power rankings. Well,
I do.
Yeah,
that's how I do it. I write the whole episode,
and then
I have the script, and then I spin the wheel at the start. So Yeah, I don't spin the wheel and then make the power rankings. No.
Yeah.
Integrity.
I mean, the Jets need a lot of things. You know, I don't think that they're like the Jaguars face Buffalo next week. Yeah. It's gonna be rough. Yeah, no, the Bills have this is the start of an easy 3-game stretch for them.
Yeah. And then the Jets play the Colts on a short week on Thursday Night Football. So we'll see if Mike White's real. We'll see if he's real.
Yeah, we'll see real quick. We'll see real quick. You also had Browns going up against the Steelers. I was going to pick the Steelers to win this game too because of all the injuries. And I was like, you know what? No, Chubb's going to be back. Baker's going to play. Jarvis Landry, buddy.
Turns out an injured Baker, an injured Jarvis, and an injured Odell. Not a great recipe for wins. I think Jarvis fumbled the ball. I think they win that game if he doesn't fumble on that drive. Baker he was hyped. Took a late shot out of bounds, got up, did one of these.
Yep.
Makes a nice throw to Jarvis. Jarvis picks up the first down, and the ball just gets punched out. And the Steelers recover. Also, Chris Boswell was taken out of this game
he got murdered.
He got shot right in the face. No roughing call. That's a surprise. The Steelers, that's just a weird call. Just kick the field goal there.
Yeah.
Like all these teams not taking points that are bad teams, what are you doing? If you're a good team, like with a good offense, I get going for it. I don't know. I don't get dialing up a fake kick with your kicker throwing it. That never seems like that feels like it rarely works out. If it would have worked, genius. Yeah. But you lose your kicker for the whole game in a divisional game.
And like the Steelers are in a position where like they're not out of the playoffs. Like, and you're doing like, it's like, I understand like if the opposite is like Zimmer, in which like you're just like being super conservative on every single play call, like yeah, but there's a balance. I don't know, but yeah, the Steelers wind up pulling off a W, and you know Steelers are going to Super Bowl now because that's the feeling going on Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So then I watched Broncos football team, and this was similar. I mean, the spin at the end of the video. Yeah. That's a good point. I could do that. Maybe I'll do that this week to change it up.
It does build anticipation though of like, oh, but man, I
like being able to say, oh, this is the team we cursed. Let's talk about this for a second. Because last week I was just like, I'm sorry, Bengals. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I think I have the reverse of the curse too now, because I put the Patriots at the power bottom 3, and they've won in a row since then. So maybe the number 3 spot for the bad teams uncurses them.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Damn right. Ooh, I got all the hot takes, baby. What were you gonna say about the
football
the
team?
Broncos game?
Yeah. All right, football team. You're a bad team. This is a bad football team. First series, and I'm gonna do a whole recap on the curse of the 30-yard line, but they are in the red zone. They try to go for it on 4th and 1 instead of kicking the easy field goal. They don't convert the 4th and 1.
Yep.
Then they try to kick 2 field goals later in the game. They both get blocked. Justin blew it.
Blew it.
And the Chargers, even though they lost, they do have Dustin Hopkins, and I believe he made his kicks.
Yeah.
Bad football team. If you're in position to kick a chip shot field goal, just take the points, man. You know it's going to be a close game against another bad team. And those 3 points would have made a difference. They would have made a difference at varying points in the game. But basically, I'm going to go in depth on this. But the Broncos and the football team, every time they crossed the 30-yard line, they just imploded. It was 2 teams can move the ball. Then they got into scoring range.
Okay.
And they went backwards. I watched 2 inept offenses just go backwards. Penalties, bad plays, missed field goals. 3 missed field goals in that game. 2 of them blocked by the Broncos. And then Denver tried to lose. There was 37 seconds left in the game. This is the final series for the Broncos. Run the ball, fumble, recover it. Bootleg where then Teddy throws an incompletion,
Yep.
then run the ball again and fumble and lose the fumble.
Yep.
But then, luckily, they were playing Washington, who on 3rd and 16 throw a 1-yard pass to the sideline and don't even complete it. And then the final play, Taylor Heineke just throws the ball out of bounds.
Throws out of the end zone. Yep.
Like, that's a team's like, screw it. We already lost. What do I care? Draft my replacement.
Those were teams that just had no interest in winning that football game, like whatsoever. But, like, can you imagine if the Broncos lost because of that? You know what? I honestly believe if they lost, Fangio gets fired literally today. Like if it's that last drive, the way that was handled, that's literally gone. Like, you're
you
gone.
Put it on the head coach. Fangio after the game was like, "Yeah, it was a horrible series." Like, you got to do something as a head coach. He's like, he said the offensive coaches felt good about the chances on the bootleg there. No. You just nearly fumbled it. Like, kneel the ball. Be like, something's not right here. Let's just kneel it, punt it away.
Yeah.
And trust our defense, who this is what I want to credit the Broncos for. And Fangio pointed this out also in his postgame. Broncos without 5 of their 7 starters up front. And they still got to win. Like, if you're going to, that's the positive spin. You know, both linebackers out. Nose tackle Mike Purcell out. Von Miller didn't play. They've been without Bradley Chubb for a while. Like, that's not really an excuse. But those are your 5 guys you banked on going into the season with. And, you know, they got to win out of it.
They had that one guy
actually helps them, but
he got a sack. And, like, he had an awesome, like, visor on.
Oh, no, this is Weatherly. It's a dude they traded for this week. He wears sunglasses, like, under his helmet.
I saw that, and I was like, that's interesting.
He looks like a video game character. It's pretty awesome. Yeah. Like, he got that sack. I was like, who the hell is this guy? I don't know who Weatherly is.
Check my notes. Didn't you get him? He's the Vikings guy, right?
Yeah, they traded for him. He was, like... it was some like 6th or 7th round conditional or something. It happened during the week. I didn't even talk about it because
you're like,
that's how bad my team is. But yeah, he made a play.
Done. So tonight,
what did we miss?
I mean, we didn't talk about Buffalo. They won against Miami. Like, it was a little scary in the first half. It was a little scary. Like, the first quarter really wasn't great. Carolina came back to beat Atlanta. Sam Darnold got popped at the end too. Like, he got drilled. We already talked about San Francisco. Rams, they beat the Texans. Like, you know, Texans got some garbage points and stuff. And those were the games. Those were the games. And tonight you got the Giants and the Chiefs. If the Chiefs lose, just done. Just done.
It's going to be full meltdown in Kansas City.
It would be done. It would be
blow up the roster.
Yeah.
Trade Mahomes. But keep his family in Kansas City. Trade Mahomes somewhere cool. Whoa, what if the Chiefs just trade Mahomes to the Texans for Watson straight up? Talk about an organization that might do it too.
Just straight up, they're like, here you go, have Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that the Chiefs should not lose this game. Like, they definitely should be winning this football game.
I think they're gonna crush the Giants.
And it'll be next week, Packers Chiefs. Packers could have a lot of players left, though. Like, they could have returned. Like, Dave Bakhtiari could be back. You know, you're looking, of course, Devontae Adams could be back. Alan Lazard could be back. MVS could be back. So,
yeah. The NFL trade deadline coming in hot.
Yeah.
Interested. Broncos might be sellers. The rumors have been Kyle Fuller, Kareem Jackson, Von Miller. They're not shopping those guys. But teams have called about Kareem Jackson. They called about Fuller. The Broncos basically have Fuller on the bench, but they might have lost Bryce Callahan. He had a bad knee thing. Von Miller, I hope to God they don't trade him. unless Vaughn wants out. Whatever Vaughn wants is what I want because he is the team. He's the guy you look for at the press conferences that keeps things positive, keeps them hyped up. But those could be sellers. Question for you, Tom, though.
Yeah.
Packers, tight end. What do they do without Bob Tunyon?
Why are you, people are saying Evan Ingram? Why? No, no, Evan Ingram. No. They were saying Njoku from the Browns, and I actually wouldn't have a problem with that if the price was not too bad. Because I think he's a pretty good player. Yeah, but I mean, like we have Mercedes Lewis, Dominique Daphne, Josiah DeGuara. DeGuara's got to step it up. Like, like these guys, we just drafted him. He's early round guy. And then Mercedes has been great. He got that one touchdown taken away. It was amazing on Thursday, that one-handed grab. And Daphne came along last year and looked pretty darn good. So, I think you could potentially, be okay at tight end. Get Trey Burton the hell out of here.
Free agent, baby.
I don't think, because I know Brandon Cooks, but apparently the Texans don't want to trade Brandon Cooks. They want to build around him. And I'm like, I don't know if that's the right move, but okay, you do what you got to do. And then there was Fletcher Cox, who also was floated around that if we got him along the line, put him next to Kenny. Oh, I'm just saying.
Fletcher Cox would be nice.
Yeah. That'd be pretty, that'd be a little something.
Nice Cox.
Cox. But we'll see. Tomorrow, I think it's 4 p.m. or 2 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
NFL trade deadline is
noon Mountain Time.
Yeah, so 4 p.m. Eastern. All right.
Yeah. It's so funny because Deshaun Watson's still out there, right? Everybody hyped up the trade. And then you saw the management of expectations as the big guys, the big NFL newsbreakers are like, there's a solid chance that the Texans do keep Deshaun Watson. There's a solid chance. We know. Yeah. We know you're doing it for the clicks.
Yeah.
Miami, the only team still in play, allegedly. So that's Watson watch. Broncos might be sellers. I don't know if the Packers are going to add anybody. I don't think the Packers trade for anyone, but maybe because of their injuries, you see them dip into the available free agents, work out some guys. Don't know.
It's worked out. Rasul Douglas. So it's worked out.
Maybe.
But we'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, we made it. We did it. Another episode. GPS in the books. Brandon Perna, you got your recap video coming out today?
Yep. Best and worst and a Broncos recap. 2 vids coming out. Probably about 4 or 5 and then 7-ish. So
there you go.
I hate my Mondays.
Oh, Mondays and Tuesdays are the worst. They're bad.
They suck.
Bad. NFC West, baby. NFC West reaction vid coming out today. Gonna be wild. Gonna be something. But folks, we appreciate you. We had over 2,600 people in here. We'll see you real soon. Wednesday morning. We'll recap all the crazy trade stuff if there's anything. If there's anything really to recap.
We might be recapping nothing.
We'll just talk about the power rankings, and we'll see who Brandon Perna decides to curse next. I swear to God, if it lands on the Packers, I swear.
I told you, they've already been cursed. What am I going to do?
Yeah, and not even by you, just by, God.
Injuries. Yeah, God.
It's we take away all your... Oh, they're still winning? Oh, all right. in that case.
Trey Burton and I have the same birthday. You guys should definitely sign him.
Nailed it. Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate you. We'll see you on Wednesday, 11 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. You've been